Everybody in the house is still asleep, so I thought I would make a video and start coughing right away, probably. Sorry. These are the Lems Boulder Boots. That was a drum because I have children. These are from the Kickstarter. That is kind of early in my minimalist shoe journey. I mean, my whole journey's not that long yet, but I wanted a good pair of boots, something that I didn't mind getting dirty. So I backed their campaign and I got these. Sizing was really weird. And I ended up sending them back because the first pair were way too small, and then this pair is too big. But I wore it with 2 pairs of socks when I last wore them. So it wasn't bad. They are quite thick because they have leather, they have the lining, and they have a waterproof membrane inside. They're not heavy though, and that was a good positive thing. Here you can see the tread. I keep them under the bed because really I'm a sandals person, so they actually stay in their box. And just don't wear boots that much. It's nice to have something that you don't mind getting dirty or that will protect your feet. These are not like steel-toed or anything like that, but I just mean you won't get soggy feet if you don't want soggy feet. From this shape, I wouldn't call these like the widest. They even have a chart on their website that puts these kind of in the middle for Lems models because it doesn't have like this extra wide front. So in a way, it's not bad that these are bigger than I need. It means that my splay is not impeded. You can see too, they're pretty flexible. I would imagine that the non-waterproof version is more flexible because it doesn't have that waterproof layer in between. And just because these are waterproof doesn't mean that they wouldn't need treatment. I haven't had them long enough or used them enough to have to do anything to them. And honestly, I'm even debating selling them, not because they're bad, but because I don't wear them very much, which is kind of the intent. Sorry. In the sense that I wanted them to be boots, and I wanted a slot with boots, and I just don't wear boots that much. So I'm currently debating selling them, but I do like the boot. There is a debate about the tread. I always worried a little bit that I might slip in them, but some people are like, no, I like, go around my muddy grass clippings yard and I'm fine. So I haven't put them to that much of a test myself. Over the winter, I would wear them on days when it was like muddy and I didn't want to get, more dressy shoes dirty. Or I would wear them, just like if I was in the basement and I'd rather stomp a spider with a thick boot like this than, my bare feet. So, wow. I thought early morning might be better, but it's not. So the leather on these is really nice and smooth. It does mark up pretty easily though. Like I said, I haven't even worn them all that much. Just a few times out and about. They are quite stiff, the leather when you get them. So the last couple of times I wore them, I only laced them this far up. I found when I wore them for a really long period, and I would still not call these actually like broken in boots, even though you can see some of that beginning. But I wore them one day to an aquarium with my kids, had them laced tightly to the top, and it really hurt my ankles. So be aware if you try a really thick boot like this, that you probably are going to need to play with lacings, make sure you're not rubbing or pushing something that can hurt you, like I hurt me. That was quite painful. So after that, I started lacing them to here. And they really need to be broken in more before I would consider lacing them all the way back up. I do think that the lacings that come with them, while they look good, and there's actually 2 pairs. There's a solid black pair that comes with it, just standard. I don't really like the lacings. I think one of these little end points are just plastic, and one of them's already broken. They came untied a lot. The lacings could be better. If I decide to start wearing these more, I might get some Doc Martens laces or something else to try to see if they would be better, because these were just frustrating. Lots of retying, dropping onto the ground, and like I said, one of them's already broken just from the minimal amount that I've worn them. They do have, actually, apparently last time I wore them, I was planning to put them back on soon because I left some thick winter socks in there. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, I was going to show the insole. It is kind of standard. It's probably Ortholite or something like that. Actually, let's see. I only recently learned to look at the bottom. That's a similar stamp to the Ortholite that's in Blink Easy. So anyway, so there is an insole. You can take it out. It's a little bit lumpy in there if you do. It's not rough, though. This sizing is so off. It says it's a men's 12. I guess it's about a men's 10.5 or 11. They really, I guess the liner, when they first made them, I think they've either fixed their problems or fixed their sizing chart now. I'm not sure. But the lining changed how the inside felt. Like, this is probably the outside of that size shoe, but the inside is different. So anyway, I like the inside, looks nice. The stitching, I mean, you'd feel it if you wore them without, but it's not rough to be painful or anything like that. But it is quite hard in there if you wore them without insoles. The insole is 0 drop, but some people really don't like cushion, and these are, kind of have some substantial stack height anyway. This is probably a debatable point, but it is how I felt that day that I wore them to the aquarium. Tightly laced and ankle hurty is right here in the front. That sure looks like toe spring, and it doesn't really flatten out. I mean, it can. It's probably a little bit worse because these boots are a little bigger than I need. But my toes really felt like that was toe spring. So be aware that either the boots can make you feel that way or that it's something that could be a problem if your shoe is too big. Maybe, because if your toes are up there, you're hopefully flattening it out. But I also don't like to count on that. I'd rather just not have toe spring, like Wildling or Mookie shoes, something like that. I mean, I even feel it a little bit on Earth Runners where the front wants to curl up. So some people don't care. Some people are not sensitive to it. But since I have gone 0 drop, I have become quite sensitive to it. So would love to know your all's thoughts on these boots or the canvas, or their vegan, any of the Boulder Boot options. This is a shoe that was already around when they did the Kickstarter, but a lot of people had asked for a waterproof version, so they delivered. I do think it's a really, really nice looking boot. It just remains to be seen how much I would, or whatever, a boot myself. I tend to just slap on the Earth Runners for anything. Earth Runners, man, they took place of a lot of shoes for me. And it's a good thing they're durable, because I use them for a lot of different things. But I think if you want to work boot, you know, and you don't need steel toed, this is good. I mean, the front is not reinforced particularly. This whole thing is lined. I imagine in the regular boots this is probably a little collapsy. I don't know if there's a different kind of reinforcement in there. This is a little bit of a moccasin, well, not moccasin because it's not wrapped over, but a pretty simple stitching, and they've taken an extra care with the design to make it look a little more narrow than it actually is. But I would not call it a super wide shoe either. I call it medium wide, maybe a little bit towards the wide side. So let me know what you think about this boot, or if you have another boot you really enjoy. Thank you.